Hey guys, it's Rocket Studios back again with another video. So, do you know that feeling where you go back and play an old game that you haven't played in like 2 years and it's really fun, but then you realize something. The game has lore, and then you spend your next 2 days piecing it all together. That's exactly what happened to me. And this is the lore of a monster truck game. Of all the games to expect have lore, I didn't expect it to be this one. But this is Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 lore. So sit back, enjoy, and yeah, you're pretty sure I'm gonna have you convinced by the end of this video. And yeah, you're gonna be pretty shocked, I have a feeling. So sit back, enjoy, and now let's doom the world. We'll get to that later, but let's go ahead and start the intro. So a big part about finding out lore that I really thought it was big, maybe it wasn't as big, but is where it's set. Now, in a monster truck game, can we really figure out where it's set? You probably think not. It's probably like a fantasy, because there's literally a haunted forest and like stuff like that in this game. But we can figure out where we are, because it's literally right in front of us when we start in the game. If you saw earlier in some of these clips, there's a literal American flag, as you can see right there. So this game takes place in the United States of America. So let's now figure out where or what's happening in the US. Now that we know where it takes place, I can tell you the rest. So let's get into it. So we now know that we're in the United States of America. What we don't know is what everything or how I'm going to explain this lore to you. Well, yeah, like I said, it's a little surprising that a monster truck game is lore, but first, I kind of want to tell you what the game is even about. There's basically these different worlds you can travel to, but yeah, in the different world, yeah, that's kind of basically the game, and you just unlock trucks along the way. But there's actually a much darker secret to this. You see, if we make our way over to the highlands right here, that you're seeing on the screen right now, the highlands is actually a secret US government hideout. Now, that's gonna sound pretty crazy, but it's true. The US government is hiding something here, and I can prove that to you. There's aircraft flying through the air, there's UFOs, even the truck lineup is a bit suspicious. But one thing I can prove to you is that the US government is hiding something, and by the end of this video, or during this video, I will explain to you what the US is doing in Monster Jam Steel Titans 2. So, let's go there. So, it's obvious that you can tell by just the looks of the highlands and the facility that the US government's probably hiding something. I mean, just look at this place. It's super high-tech. It's all dark, there's aircraft in the air, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the US is hiding something in the game. But what is the question? Well, there is a giant UFO that crashed right here, so maybe there's something, maybe the US is hiding alien technology, or we're working with aliens in the game. Maybe aliens finally visited Earth, but we don't know. Because it's obvious that the US government is doing something. You just saw the aircraft in the air that I've been talking about. So, the US is hiding something. And I think I know what it is. And I can't really prove anything in the highlands, but if I go to the haunted forest, I'll prove it to you that something bad has happened, and that we are dooming the world. But before we go to the highlands, this is the thing I want to show you. If I ride up this government building that's in the center, if I ride up all the way here in a truck that I'm playing Alien Invasion, if I go up here, and if there's a little bit of a secret here that obviously shows the US is hiding something. Here we go. It's a little scanner thing. They're scanning my truck ID or whatever, but it's denied. But if I change to Soldier Fortune Black Ops, let me show you what happens. Now here we go. If I head up here with a truck, like I said, Soldier Fortune Black Ops, just go in this ominously building up here, this super ominous high-tech government building where they have some sort of secret in here. And I can pretty much prove it. If I go here to this ID scanner, yeah, I get scanned with Soldier Fortune Black Ops, and it works. The door opens. And now, let's see what's in here. I started looking around the room to see if I can find something incriminating of what they're hiding, and I found a bunch of these screens, but it looks like it says something on that screen by the keypad, and I can't see what it says. But it looks like it says PvP to me, anyway. That could just be me, but I thought it said PvP something, which means, is the US government fighting somebody? And actually, the answer to that is yes. And this is who we're fighting. Now, if I head over here to the Haunted Forest, riding Gravedigger, my sweet gold Gravedigger, but this is the Haunted Forest. As you can tell, it's definitely haunted, and it's all creepy. There's a full moon over Gravedigger's castle, and yes, it is Gravedigger's castle. There's a bunch of Gravedigger references, so you can't tell me it's not. So, if you go around in this forest, it's obviously haunted, it's all overgrown, and like, there's no sunlight ever, it's all just dark and creepy. But there's no actually ghosts flying around though, which actually kind of would have been cool if there was. But this place definitely has its mysteries. I can show you. This place here is evidence that how did this place become haunted is what I want to know. That's what I'm getting at. How did it become haunted? And actually, one thing that I can't pick up on is that actually when you beat the game, the final gate, since this is the last world for the Haunted Forest, leads back to the first world. You enter Camp Crushmore, which probably means that Camp Crushmore is in the very center of all the worlds, and it's just a big circle that connects to each other, as you may have saw the gate over there. Also, I'm pretty sure I may know the explanation to how this place became haunted, and it's what the U.S. government is hiding. Or fighting, is what I meant to say. The U.S. government is fighting the zombies. Because the zombie apocalypse has begun, and its evidence is pretty substantial in this game. Let me show you. How I think of this is how the Haunted Forest became haunted is because of some sort of zombie apocalypse. As I've told you, Camp Crushmore connects to the Haunted Forest. And the Haunted Forest is a forest also, and it is green, just like Camp Crushmore, meaning that most likely this place used to be green and a beautiful forest, just like Camp Crushmore and Bark Park, two other worlds in the game. So, why is the Haunted Forest so different? My guess, the zombie apocalypse. Now that sounds pretty stupid, but I have proof, and I'll show you. Now, like I said, this is the door back to Camp Crushmore. Camp Crushmore is, like as you probably saw at the beginning of the video, is a green place. So why is the Haunted Forest so different? Because of the zombie apocalypse that probably started. Now the zombie is a monster truck you unlock in the game, and the reason why there's gates is kind of unsettling. Now I don't know how the zombie apocalypse started, but I do know that by progressing through the game and opening the gates, we're dooming the world. Now, let me show you where the true lore and where the most interesting place in the whole game is. Now, you're probably thinking it's probably the Haunted Forest or the Highlands or something, but in this, I'll finally conclude what the US government is hiding and the stuff about a zombie apocalypse, because this is the most interesting point of the lore. This is the Wastelands, a deserted desert place. I mean, there's not really much here. Or is there? There's actually a bunch of evidence of an apocalyptic event that could have wiped out this once utopian city. Now, yeah, I probably don't have any evidence that was a once utopian city, do I? Actually, I do. I have a bunch of evidence that this was actually used to be a city, and it got wiped out and deserted somehow. There's literally a train and train tracks that aren't running anymore that used to be here, that used to probably run through and take passengers on it. There's even a whole city that used to exist here, and the ruins are seen throughout the game. Here we are going towards the garage. And as you can see, there's a bunch of buildings here, and abandoned ones as well. So how and why are they abandoned? This goes back to the zombie apocalypse. See, the zombie apocalypse may have wiped out this once utopian city. That's what I'm starting to get at here. Because how did a city or a mining settlement like this get wiped out? Why are there no people? Why is it all deserted? Because of the apocalypse that could have started. Look, in this building, there's basically nothing in here. Because there probably used to be, but now everything's run down, and all of that is here. So, this is probably because of the zombie apocalypse that made the haunted forest not so green anymore. Like, because no one was there to water the plants anymore, I guess. That's kind of funny, but, like, this is obviously one of the most important points of the lore, because the wastelands used to be a utopia, and I'll show you even more evidence in just a minute. But this is a whole city that used to exist here, and we can see it. There's also even more evidence. There were once roads and streets, and we can find the ruins right there. There's roads that are broken apart, and there's even cars on these streets. Look at this. There's roads, but they're deserted. There's even street lights. This place probably used to be a very modern city or a mining settlement, but the zombie apocalypse could have wiped it out. Now, the zombie apocalypse could be speculation, but something disastrous happened here that once wiped out a very important city, and probably the biggest city, and that's why the U.S. government, or that's at least what I think the U.S. government could be involved in the highlands. But I'll get into a bit more of that later. But there's ruins of trains and planes, as you've just seen. There may have used to be hangars and airports. So, that's the thing. This used to be a utopia, the evidence is shown. There's highways, streetlights, airplanes, trains, there's everything a city could possibly need. There's even a city. But there is still one more thing. There's still one more weird thing in the game, and I'm gonna head to it right now. There is a actual doomsday bunker. Now, another thing that is interesting about the game is the truck lineup you get for each world. And the world lineup for this one isn't that bad. It's mainly but it is called the Demolition Crew. Maybe that's a hint? I don't know. That's a bit of speculation. But look, there's a doomsday bunker right here. And yeah, there could be I don't know, something hidden here, but there's a doomsday bunker in where I think an apocalypse took place. Maybe it wasn't a zombie apocalypse, but a nuclear one. But I haven't found any evidence of a nuclear apocalypse. Only a zombie. So, and now back to the truck lineup in this game. There are normal trucks here, like El Toro Loco and Dragon and stuff. You can unlock them in this world. Gas Monkey Garage, There's stuff like that. But the weirdest truck, by far, is Doomsday. Doomsday is a retired truck, and it hasn't been in any races for years. So, why is it in a game that came out in, I believe, 2021? Why a retired truck? Well, it's because maybe to show evidence. Even the level to unlock Doomsday is called Apocalypse Soon. Apocalypse Soon. That's the level to unlock Doomsday. His secret is a Doomsday bunker in the world. And Doomsday has been retired for years, and then he was brought back for this game. Why? Well, I have evidence, and I'll show it to you. Now, what's weird about Doomsday being in the game is because his secret is a Doomsday bunker, as I've mentioned, but there are other retired trucks in the game, like Higher Education and Backwards Bob. But Doomsday retired before Spin Master bought Monster Jam. Well, so did they, right? Yes, but Spin Master has made die-casts of those trucks, or merchandise for them. But for Doomsday, not a single die-cast or merchandise has been produced under Spin Master. But Doomsday is in the game. Don't you find that a little bit strange? The Doomsday bunker, his level to unlock being called Apocalypse Soon, and it's in the wasteland where I believe that was once taken out by a zombie apocalypse. I'm telling you, it's weird, and this could be a clue to what have happened to the wasteland, and this is obvious. So, now, I also have figured out what the US is finally hiding in the highlands, and they're going to war. Like I said, in the highlands, the US government was hiding something. At the time, I didn't realize it, but now that I found out that there was probably an apocalyptic event that could have wiped out the wastelands, most likely it was a zombie apocalypse that turned the haunted forest haunted because it started there and tried to spread and destroy the wastelands. And that's why the doomsday bunker is there, and that's why doomsday is in the game, maybe. So, now the US government, I can prove, is going to war, because you see all of these weapons, and like, aircraft flying through the air, crash UFOs who are maybe working with alien technologies. Who knows? And the US, even the truck group doing a lot for the Highlands, is called the Defenders. Defending against what exactly? Maybe a zombie apocalypse, because it's already happened, and that's why the gates are there. The gates are there to protect all worlds against a zombie apocalypse from happening again. That's why I think it's there. And the US government is preparing for a war to go against the zombies. So who do you think would win that? A high-tech US government or the zombies? I kind of want to know who would win that. Put your bets in the comments. So, the US government has trucks to help them, and they have Mohawk Warrior, which is probably a warrior of some sort. Even the boss truck for this group is called Avenger. Avenging what exactly? Oh, that's right. What they've lost against the zombie apocalypse, or what everyone's lost. You see, they're flying their aircraft in routine to get ready. The crashed UFOs and alien technology and stuff. The Bakugan Dragonoid is in the game, who's a metal dragon. They're making artificial dragons, guys. Come on. It's obvious that the US government is going to war with the zombies, and maybe avenging from what they did to the wastelands, to the once utopian wasteland, or city that once was there. This is what the US government's secret is, and there's also 2 military trucks, Soldier Fortune and Soldier Fortune Black Ops, that are basically based off of tanks that are there. So yeah, it's pretty obvious that the US government is hiding their plans to go to war here, and that's why no one else but Soldier Fortune Black Ops, maybe their most trusted truck, I don't know, can get into their secrets. Maybe that's what the PvP, what I thought I saw PvP on the screen. Player, maybe PvP against the zombies or something. Obviously, this may sound a little odd to most people, but I can assure you that I think this is a good theory, and I think there is lore in this game, and it sounds a bit crazy, but I think it's also convincing, because sometimes even the craziest things are convincing. So if I'm right about this whole thing, that means the US is going to war, and that's why the gates are built. That we're actually, by progressing in the game, we're dooming the whole world. By opening the gates so the zombies can attack from both sides and reclaim and infect the world. So think about that. The main purpose of the game could be letting the zombies win. And that's why the US is going to war. I'm Frogger Studios. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.